Hello and welcome to On Focus. I'm here with the Auburndale Tractor Club. I have Mark Conoyer with me, Taryn, and Seth. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys had Drive Your Tractor Day last week, correct?
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So Drive Your Tractor to School Day has been going on for about 12 years now, and we pick a family in need, and then that's just like our cause and why we drive our tractors to school.
No, everybody, there's always lots of questions like, how do you do your driver tractor?
Like
how do you, what are your, do you have any forms? Do you have any permission releases?
Yeah.
Because it's a very popular thing to do. And I think the thing that Auburndale does well, and this has been right from the beginning, is that every kid, the rules and parameters are set out that they will not have any riders. We have the permission of the Wood County Sheriff's Department. We have guidance from the Wood County Sheriff's Department. The fire department leads. The parking lot is set up in such a way that half the parking lot is set just for the tractors. The kids who are watching the parade itself were behind a fence.
Yep. And then when we get into the parking lot, then all of our tractors have to be parked before any kids can get out. So like Cole and Carter, they usually park first, and then they'll jump out and park everybody else. So this year it was cool because we had all the tractors facing in, so you could walk around in the circle, and all of the old gawkers were oh my gosh, you can
people came
check
and
them
drove
out.
right around the circle and the vehicles.
I know at Marshfield, it's like the students are the ones who handle it. That's where I went to Marshfield, and I didn't participate. Obviously, I don't have a tractor, but I know it's nothing. I mean, it's the students are oh, let's do it this day, and then they just do it. So I know it's very unorganized.
So
high school kids.
One of the things then too is then at the end of this day, when all the students have to leave for school and go do their work activities and things like that. So all the kids who are parked in the parking lot, they all leave. And so then another 20 minutes after school gets out and all that traffic leaves, that's when the tractor kids then drive away. So that way there's no conflicts there.
Right.
And so,
I can imagine.
it's always a safety first as far as, looking out for the students, looking out for the drivers, looking out for the students who are driving their cars to school.
And then too, just for pictures and other reasons we don't, some kids will take their tractors back, if it wasn't theirs and they drove somebody else's.
Right.
They'll take it back, but then we can't have them leave the parking lot until 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Those reasons too.
Yeah.
Because you guys, when everybody else is parked, then we have the picture and the check presentation, it's a big deal for the elementary too. I mean, we didn't stop honking our horns the entire way.
They all sit there like this,
like that
and
stuff.
and then you beep it, and they're like,
I think it's the greatest thing ever.
But the high schoolers wave. They don't necessarily do that but they're all gathered on the sidewalk as well.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough the tractor I drove this year had a 3-point on the front, and then Katie, another member of the tractor club committee, had painted a 4x8 sign. And
it was just like this.
Yeah, exactly like this, and put that on there.
It.
And so we led that. So they let me set the pace at 2.1 miles an hour.
Oh wow!
Which was really nice for everybody who wanted to get pictures.
Good. It was a good speed.
Yeah. And
everyone complimented on it. They were like, awesome speed. We got to see everything.
But I like to also see when we drive through Auburndale, and when everyone comes together to see all the orange shirts representing Gage.
That's cool.
When you see them out in the crowd, it's
and then
one color, it's
Gage,
bright orange.
Right, and then Gage was sitting there because he was going to ride with us, but then he ended up not because he didn't feel well that morning. Oh. But he stood there, and I think every tractor that went by, he was just
just loved it.
Yeah,
he
was
cute. Yeah. That's really
adorable.
Cute. So how many participated this year in your tractor day?
We had 38 that participated, and we even had some teachers that drove this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's kind of a school-wide thing.
Yes.
And it was for Gage Zellner, right?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about him.
So every year we just kind of look for someone in our community that's in need, and it was probably beginning of January that we kind of start looking, and we were having a little bit of trouble, in the small area that we are, finding someone, which is good.
Yeah.
But then we were like, we kind of need something. So we started to like broaden our search a little bit more, and Mr. Knoyer had told me about a family, and I had emailed them and got in touch with them, and then a couple days after I had sent the email and I hadn't heard back from them, one of my peers actually, her mom runs the daycare in the elementary school.
Okay.
So she came up to me and approached me and said, hey, this is what's going on. And I guess I was kind of flustered because I was like, well, I just sent the email to these people, and Mr. Knoyer was just like, you know what, it'll work itself out, it'll be fine. If we have to do two, we do two, you know. So then this other family that I had contacted came back to me and said, you know, like, we're set financially and we know Gage and his family and we want to see the money go to them. And it was just like one of those things that, I don't know, it felt like surreal because it was just awesome to see.
Gage and you share a birthday.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
It clicked over the weekend.
Yeah.
And as Taryn and I contacted back and forth, it was, there was some divine intervention that came to be. And for a little 2-year-old boy to go through what he's going through, being diagnosed with leukemia, is just, it's a touching story. And you don't wish that upon anyone to have to deal with those situations. So
I know that, like, Gage and they're all looking for a lot of support, and our community's supporting them. But there is a Facebook page called Gage's Battle, so if you want to like follow that or like it or whatever, his mom posts updates on there and stuff too. So that's kind of cool to see.
That's good. Are you guys? How much did you guys raise for Gage?
We raised $16,000 for Gage. We wrote on the checks. So.
That's a lot of money. That's a good chunk of change, you guys, to give him. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to say, like this wouldn't be possible without like our community, like our students and the group of people lead it, but without like our community backing us and all of our sponsors. And we ask for sponsorships of like local businesses and farms. And then if they do sponsor us, then we put their name on the back of our t-shirt, and then we also get them a free t-shirt as well. So like I said, without the community backing us and pushing us and supporting us, there would be no money. So I don't know, it's just awesome to see such a small community come together and do something so great.
Are there any other benefits you guys are involved with that will be for Gage? Do you know if there's anything else coming up?
We did a brat fry at the school that we started out as 400 brats, and we also delivered, and it started at 11, and by 10 we had 200 brats sold for delivery, so we had to go and pick up an extra 200 brats to fry up and sell. Wow. And we ended up selling 600 brats that day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we sold out of brats. It was crazy. It was crazy busy. We were back in the concession stand, and we're like throwing buns, and like we're like, Carter, we need another brat. And like we're all like sweating and laughing.
Yeah.
And you guys added this year. You added Mr. Sanders, our superintendent, has this unique skill of making these homemade deep fried donuts.
Okay.
And so
him and Mr. Alwee, another is I don't know what
school board member.
A school board member helped made donuts to sell the really good homemade donuts.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose that went over well.
It went over well because that was $1 price point, and they got 2 donuts and 2 donut holes for $1, and so the middle schoolers were pulling quarters out of their pockets.
Oh my gosh!
Got them sugared up for the afternoon, and they didn't stop deep frying donuts all day. Yeah. It was really neat.
And we were super thankful because Mr. Alwee and Mr. Sanders donated like all of the supplies in their time, so that wasn't a cost for us, so it was 100% profit, so that was awesome too.
That's good.
And then your grillers, you had...
we had Clifford Altman, Dwayne Wilford, and my dad, Sean Pankratz, helped grill all the brats.
Okay, so you had, volunteers for that too. You didn't have to...
Right. So they had the grills like parked out or underneath kind of like our archway. Entering into school, so you could just like the smoke of the brats was like going into school, so it was kind of like temptation. I think when people walked by, their mouths just watered and
yeah.
So
Well, anything else you guys want to add any other events you guys have coming up, or?
Roaring for Gage, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so that is May 18th and 19th.
Okay.
We're not really a part of that, but like Gage's family and friends are putting that on. And of course we support it and all that they do as well, because they were huge supporters to us and helped us out a lot. So that is at
The Horse and Around Saloon down in Wisconsin Rapids, and
Okay.
there's a band and there's community games, and it's an all-day event.
Yeah, so there's like beanbag tournaments and that kind of stuff. And then I think too there's an event on Facebook called Roaring for Gage, and I think there's like a volunteer sign-up list too. So if anyone wanted to help out like that way,
Okay.
that's on there too. So.
Well, and you guys participated in this event too, right? Both of you. So tell us what tractors you drove.
So I drove my dad and my uncle's MX 240.
Okay.
And then I was fortunate enough to let one of the local farms, Liquid Coin Dairy, let me drive their ACO DT 220. So.
And I drove a 7930 that Russ Pankrat's farm let me drive, and so that was my first time getting to drive something that big. It was really neat. It drives like a lawnmower. It's not like a traditional tractor.
Right.
And these guys all got to participate in their earlier days in middle school, took a tractor safety class. And
Okay.
so half of them, the kids that drove this year, were under 16. And in the state of Wisconsin, they need to take a tractor safety class to operate either for their family or if they're working for someone else. And so through that class, then they receive safety training in how that tractor operates, recognizing dangerous situations, and things like that. So that way, we're giving these kids the same opportunities that somebody who's been through driver's ed operates in the same roads at a very much slower speed as well.
Right.
And so that class we host the first week in June. We have a lot of support for that as well through our community partners that see the future in ag and the future in youth. And they support them with personal protective equipment and tractors to drive, and they help out with the testing and things like that. And that's our bigger part as far as our ag program, making sure that through this program, other programs like this can thrive and be very successful, and kids have a great time.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, get your farmers out there and farmer kids and all that good stuff.
We're super thankful for all of our teachers and Mr. Knoyer and our principal, Mr. Dalkowski. They helped us out a lot and helped lead us in the right direction.
And also letting us skip class to make this possible.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plan. I mean, you guys started planning when? So in January, you guys started planning, but then how? You want to talk a little bit about the planning process, like what you guys did as a committee?
It started out as once every other week we had a meeting of what we were going to do, and then it kind of started in every week, and just whenever we had a study hall or something that we could go and help out and help Taryn and Cole and the rest of the members all together.
So it really is like teamwork. I mean, it really is like a whole team to put this together.
It's crazy. I mean, the morning that we got all of our t-shirts and we had to sort them out, we were all in the back room and we were just sweating and trying to get these. And then by the end of it, we're kind of like irritated with each other. But then, of course, it's always good at the end. So.
Right.
How many t-shirts did you sell?
464 t-shirts. So.
And did those profits go to Gage as well too?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. I
Yeah.
mean.
So the design monkey in Auburndale, he designed, Katie Helminiak drew up a design for our shirt, and then John Empey made the t-shirts, and he gave us a pretty great deal on them, so we were able to give a lot of money to Gage that way too.
So don't forget to mark your calendars for Roaring for Gage, May 18th and 19th in Wisconsin Rapids. Thanks for tuning in to On Focus.